How's it going, guys? The next DLC for Eugene's game has been revealed. It's going to be called Nemesis 5 The Southern Flank, and it features Spain and Czechoslovakia. They recently did a roadmap where they outlined some stuff, and we could sort of, because they gave us this picture, right? And we could sort of guess what it was from the picture, but now they've described what's going to be in these divisions in painstaking detail. And as you guys like to remind me, you can't read, and so I have to read it for you. If you want me to continue reading this, you can give us a like. Obviously, I'm going to continue reading this one because this is pre-recorded. But anyway, hello, commanders. Eugen keeps on bringing the good stuff, and this was written by Eugen. Hot on the heels of the new Warno in today's dev blog, we'll preview the upcoming Nemesis 5 Southern Flank. I don't really understand what's being said here, but there it is. So this is the cool picture. Last time we saw it, it didn't have Southern Flank written on it, and now it does. Wow, incredible. So yeah, they'll explain many things, but basically here we have a Spanish man, a Huey with some sort of gun pod on it. This is a Mirage, as we found out last time. We've got a BMR, which is a sort of Spanish wheeled thing. A Spanish M48. Then here we've got some Czechoslovakians, so Czechoslovakian MiG-21s. This is the Taurus Nice, which is like a recoilless rifle. It's already in the game. And this is a Czechoslovakian T-55 AM2B, I think, because it looks exactly like the T-55 AM2 that's already in the game. So I don't know if it's a 2B or just a 2 regular, because the only thing that's different is this is open, and I'm not sure. Like, it looks closed on that one, so you know I don't know if that matters. Anyway, it's going to be an AM2 presumably, because the AM1 is already in the game and it looks different, right? So yeah, so let's read the words. This DLC is a Eugene choice in order to speed up development and production. So yeah, every other Nemesis we get to vote for, and so far in like almost 4 years we've only voted for two. So, because yeah, one was pre-chosen, two we voted for, three was pre-chosen, four we voted for, and this is five. Four still isn't out, so we get to vote once every 2 years, I guess, which is about right for elections, right? I think, at least in Britain, they don't let us vote anymore. Anyway, Nemesis 5 Southern Flank keeps the Southag theme, focusing on two divisions in the southern reaches of the front, near the Austrian border, featuring the Spanish Division de Infantería Mecanizada Guzmán el Bueno, number 2. Alright. Or the Mechanized Division number 2, Guzmán el Bueno. Okay, for NATO, and the Czechoslovakian Who Cares, or 2nd Motor Rifle Division fighting for the Warsaw Pact. Great. So, so let's talk about the Spanish one first. Usually they split it into two, so that's interesting that they're doing both in one. There must be... Wow, maybe it's almost coming out. I doubt it, guys, honestly. Anyway, I've just noticed I'm seriously in the way of the words. I know you're not going to read them because that's why you're watching this video, but at least let's try to make it happen. It's probably time for me to thank the generous channel joiners, generously joining the channel. They get their names on the screen, they get the videos early, they get members exclusive videos. One join at the lowest level is worth 2,000 views in ad revenue equivalents, so if you're feeling bad about your ad block, it's a great way to support the channel. This is my sole source of income, which is why I shill so much. So yeah, let's get on with it. So this is the division Guzmán el Bueno. And here you see it says La Guerra, and then N for English. The Spanish Division de Infantería Mecanizada Guzmán el Bueno number 2 was one of the largest fighting formations in the Spanish army in the closing years of the Cold War. Posted in southern Andalusia. Let's do some finding out, shall we? Okay, there. So in the Muslim bit, It would either deploy rapidly against potentially belligerent African nations or support NATO allies if conflict arose in West Germany. Nah, bro. The real reason is to invade Gibraltar. Take Gibraltar back from the evil Brits. The evil Brits with their Gibraltar. Yeah. As such, it was part of a small Ejercito de Terra projection corps, which is like yeah, let's just do this for us, man.
Ejército de tierra.
Ejército de Tierra.
Ejército de tierra.
Ejército. Okay. Anyway, which also included the Division Brunette #1. So that's the one that's already in the game with its armor, and the Maestrazgo Infantry Division. Okay, as well as potentially the Brelat Light Infantry, sorry, can't speak, Brigade. The formation was named after Guzman el Bueno, or Guzman the Good, or Guzman the Good. Okay, let's just, sorry guys.
Guzmán.
Guzman.
Guzmán.
Guzman.
Guzmán.
I'm saying Guzman. You can just deal with it. A Spanish noble and hero during medieval times who distinguished himself in the history books during the siege of Tarifa in 1296. Let's do some learning. Yeah, I figured as much. It's when they beat up all the Muslims, right? Anyway. During the division's mechanized nomenclature, despite the division's mechanized nomenclature, the battle group was reorganized as a motorized division, featuring the BMR-wheeled APC in great numbers. So this is actually already in the game, the BMR, but it's like quite rare. So there's lots of different types, right? So there's the CV, the Recon one, the TOW one, and the Mortar one, which are quite common. But there's not just like a normal one with a 50 cal, and this, the grenade launcher one, only comes on one unit. And it's the grenade launcher team, unsurprisingly. So, yeah, you get it on this, and that's great. But you only get it with the grenade launchers. There's no infantry in BMRs. The only infantry you get in BMRs are the recon guys, the Jeanettes. So the way Gnef plays this is, and he reached rank 1 just playing Spain, by the way. He has 3 cards of these because it's a pretty cool unit. Good optics for 35 points. I mean, I know it's only got 1 armor, but it's pretty fast. So it goes through the forests faster as well, because I think forest movement speed is minus 33%. Might be minus 50. After becoming part of NATO, Spain had been both downsizing and modernizing its armed forces in the 1980s. Being based in Andalusia, in the south of Spain, the Guzman el Bueno was also well positioned to see action in North Africa, if needed to be. If needed. If needed, bro. As relations with nearby Morocco were not always the friendliest. Yeah, I remember seeing a documentary about that, although this is more of a modern thing. But, so... Let's just not get into it. Okay, well, yeah, we might as well. Anyway, there's something down here that's still owned by Spain. I don't know if it's this. I mean, that's in Arabic, but there's like some tiny little port on the Moroccan border, which is still owned by Spain. I don't know where it is. And basically, because of the way the EU works, if a refugee gets into the EU, you can't push them back. It's called no pushbacks. You're not allowed to send them back. And so the documentary I watched, which I'll link in the description if I can find it, it's like every night these guys, they would just permanently camp outside wherever this port is. I don't know exactly where it is. They would permanently camp outside it. Maybe it's this. I don't know. And every night they would just human wave the wall and try and get in, and it was like a whole World War One kind of trench network thing. And they've got the night vision cameras showing this human wave run at the wall, because if they make it over the wall, they're not legally allowed to be sent back. I mean, who knows what happens when the cameras aren't running? But, it was like an episode of Takeshi's Castle. Obviously, I should probably have more humanity and so on, but nah, it was pretty funny. Anyway. So yeah, And the Spanish obviously weren't so happy with the Moroccans for not doing anything about it. Just letting these guys just set up a tent city outside the walls. We know that the brunette was earmarked to reinforce the southern sectors in West Germany if push came to shove, but the two infantry divisions' roles were less clear. They could have followed brunette's armour into Europe, forming a small corps. It's corps, but I say corps to annoy people. Or join AF South in northern Italy. So a lot of people like South are, bro, where's Italy? It's its own operational command called AF South. So that's why, because we covered and I do suggest you check it out, the roadmap, and people like, that's not Albania, that's Yugoslavia. Yeah, but then who's Italy going to fight? If they add AF South, which I think they will. I mean, it depends how well the game sells, I guess. The DLC, I mean. If the Spanish army had been able to project one division this far from home territory without prior exercises, it remains to be seen. A dubious feat in war, especially taking into account the serious doubts by NATO leadership about the Dutch army. Okay, much nearer to the front, being very likely unable to mobilize and transport their troops in times of conflict. The Dutch just catching strays here in the Spanish-Czechoslovakian dev block. Regardless, in our alternative timeline, Spain does manage to strategically project the Guzman el Bueno, together with Brunette, as well as associated small corps assets to join the fight in southern West Germany and the Czechoslovakian frontier. Good. I mean, I have this conversation with these history morons every day, and they're like, "Oh, that doesn't make sense because in the book it's not there." And World War III didn't happen, mate. And it's like, no, you can't have the imaginary units in the imaginary war. It's over text mainly, but I just assume they speak like that. The Guzman el Bueno number 2 in Warno. How will the mechanized division number 2 Guzman el Bueno look like in Warno? New units are marked in both italic and bold. As always, units and categories are subject to change. So, Logitab. Foreign, will we? Just to edit that part out. A pretty good category, as the Guzman el Bueno is an infantry division reinforced with core assets. So that's pretty cool, right? What does that mean? So this is an armored division kind of Logitab 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, right? And then you've got something like Second Panzergren. 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3. That's mechanized. And then you've got something that's like sort of quote-unquote proper infantry, which I guess would be second UK. 1, 1, 2, 3, 3. Hello? Cringe? Cringe? Second Panzergren broken AF? We already knew that. What about TKS? That's an infantry division. Or like, yeah, this one. 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. So we can assume it's something like that. Yeah, command. I mean, I don't actually know. And if I did, I wouldn't be able to tell you. But I mean, that's what we're looking at. Command vehicles include the new Santana Mando from The Mandalorian. And, oh, look, it's a Land Rover. It's got the Land Rover badge on it. I don't know if you can see that. And the BMR PC, as well as the Bo 105 Mando helicopter. So, the latter two are already in the game, right? Like they said, it was like, new units are italic and bold. So this is new, this isn't. So I just... They put them both together. We're going to be here all day. Usually it's like one per thing. This is going to be a long video. Did I thank the channel joiners? The generous channel joiners. Anyway, BMR. Oh, the Helo's not actually in. But it's just going to be like a standard Helo CV, presumably, I mean. Because it says it's a bow, so let's have a look at the, a Luftland you'll have it. Huh. Who's got a bow CV? Logi. No. Or like a Gazelle CV, I guess. Yeah, something like this, probably, right? So what is that? 6 easy. So, yeah, it tends to be like 3 availability, you know, because the bows and the gazelles are very, very similar stats, so it's probably going to look exactly like this. But also, yeah, Mando, Santana Mando, the BMR PC you just saw. Supply units are a FOB, but also the light Pegaso 3046 and heavy C3464 trucks. plus the UH-10 helicopter. So the only one there that's new is the Hilo, and yeah, so these are some of the trucks. Which one was it saying? The light 30. So nice truck, 1,000 supply, 40 points, pretty good. And then some sort of heavier truck called C3464, which is apparently a bag. So it's a Dodge truck, Spanish Dodges. So this sort of looks like this. Delivers milk. Okay. I mean, alright, it's a truck. Plus the UH-10 helicopter. So UH-10 Hilo supply is kind of garbage. It comes in like this sort of thing. I don't know what a 10 means, or if that was a D. No, it's a 10. But I mean, if it is just a Huey, then it only carries 600 supply, so it's kind of just not great. Not great to bring these. If you're playing like a big team game and you need to ferry stuff to the front line, okay, but in 1v1 these are kind of not useful, the supply ones. Right, now we're in the imp category, a very strong category, so that's cool. As can be expected, although the division converted to being a motorized formation, meaning the BMR, it still retains some TOA M113 and associated infantry in the form of the existing Fusileros in Mando, which is the commander, Vanilla, M65, and C90 variants. These squads can deploy in the same TOA variants as Brunette's infantry. So yeah, we've already seen all of these. But yeah, it says a very strong category, right? So I can assume it's going to be like second UK, right? Lots of ones. Lots of ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which I think is the max. I mean, it is an infantry division. How many other infantry... Like, these are mechanized divisions, so it's not... I suppose this is an infantry division. Yeah, so it might even be, you know, with 2s and 3s and stuff, you know? About 2/3 of the division's infantry. So, oh, sorry, I haven't finished covering this. We might have to split this into 2 videos, you know, one for the Czechoslovakian one for the. Because you know I have to take a break and stuff, and I need to drag it out to get that money. That money. You should have joined us as a channel joiner, bro. You didn't do it, and now I gotta rely on the ad revenue. I haven't done it yet. Anyway, so these are them, right? So here's the Mando one, 6 guys with smoke but no AT. Here's the sort of vanilla one, I guess, with 2 machine guns and 7 rifles. Here's the one with the super bazooka. And here's the one with the C90, which is like a just bad 84, basically. Yeah. The TOA, 20 points for an M113, that's all it is. Yeah. About 2/3 of the division's infantry will come as Fusileros BMR and their respective command variants. Both are well-rounded squads, limited to 8 soldiers due to the cramped battle taxi accommodations. They field 7 rifles. Isn't SETME the thing from Roadrunner? You know, the explosives from Roadrunner, aren't they SETME? Anyway, 1 times MG4258, and what am I dyslexic or something? Anyway, and 1 C90CR anti-tank weapon. They ride either in soft skins, which is going to be a truck, BMR PP, or BMR lag. So the PP is the shooty one. The BMR lag, here it is. So there you go. 2/3 of the infantry are coming in BMR lags. This is going to be a very fun division. It's going to be like 9th US for the infantry. Anyway, from what we've seen so far, because if they're all coming in grenade launcher vehicles, then that's going to be pretty lit against enemy infantry. You just dismount these guys. So they said 8 instead of 9, and so 8 instead of 9, 7 rifles, 1 MG42, and 1 C90CR. So it's probably going to be 8 instead of 10. Because this is 9, this is 10, and this is 11. Like, what's going on? So yeah, it's probably going to be like maybe 45 points for 8 guys. Because if you think arm rifles is 40, like this is 9 guys, but they've all got SMGs. Anyway, BMR PP is presumably a 50 cal one, right? Because if the BMR lag is the, you know. Anyway, so I assume they're going to be about 45 points, because if you think about like arm rifles, they're 40 for, you know, 2 of these and 7 guys. So for 8 guys, you'd think 45, but you know, regular rifles, there's a lot of that going around. 6, 6, 6, 10, 9, 8. So these guys are 55 points for 8, which is not fair, really. You know, you got such a big price increase, but that's life. The lore 80 is really good, so that's fine, actually. So that, yeah, they'll probably be like 45, because they've got 1 less guy than this, and the RPG will be different. I mean, it's got less range, right? That C90 should not fire at 500 meters, basically. It's got a 2-time scope on it. Anyway. Okay, likewise, Zappadors come in the same variants and transport options as those found in Brunette. So Zappadors are the engineers, right? So Zappadors, they've got nice availability because they've only got crap SMGs. That's why the availability is nice. And yeah, then you can get one. So I know like one guy who brings this, and it's Greyhound, and who knows why. I watched a game of his basically where he brought these. So it's 45 guys, 45 points for this, right? Anyway, but include a newcomer, the Zappadors BMR, who are also 8 guys, but field an MG42 and deploy either in soft skins or the BMR PP VCZ dedicated combat engineer variant with a dozer blade. So you know, this is the BMR, and then this is the dozer blade version, I guess. So if you look at the Tower VCZ has 1 more armor because it is dozered up. So we can assume that the BMR PP VCZ will also have 2 front armor because it's dozered up, right? You'll notice these cost the same. So will it cost the same? Hopefully. We shall see. And yeah, 8 guys with an MG42. What, is that it? I mean, presumably they're still going to have satchels and stuff. Which, and like rifles and stuff. Do you know what I mean? 8 guys with 1 MG42. I know the Spanish were poor during this time period, but presumably it's going to have, it means this, but with 1 less guy and an MG42. That's what I'm assuming. Or it might, you know, or will it be this with 1 less guy and an MG42? Who knows? So the prices will probably be pretty similar because they've got like a better gun, right? Or will they have normal rifles? Because if it's just SMGs, 1 MG42 which can't fire without moving, can't fire while moving, and a bunch of SMGs that have to get into close range, I'm not sure how useful that's going to be really. But the transport sounds nice if it's got 2 front armor. The weapon teams include the regular array of MG42, so that's just an MMG team. MMG teams are really, really, really good, by the way. You should bring them whenever you can. They're pretty stupid, particularly if you don't have towed AA guns. They're really, really good. Obviously, grenade launcher teams are better, but yeah, if you don't have those. Lag 40mm, so you will have those, and presumably it'll come in the PP lag. And the Gay Boy 20mm, deployable in soft skin, Tower, or BMR. So soft skin is presumably going to be one of these. Not sure which one. And you know, here's the Tower grenade launcher, right? Here's the lag grenade launcher. The Tower lag's pretty cool. The Fusileros come with this as well, so you can get I mean, 30 points for that isn't great because it's not got smoke, but It is what it is. In addition, other units featured are the CSR 106, which is an M40A1. Okay, so that's a. Because, yeah, so far we haven't really seen much new stuff, have we? M40A1, I think the French get it. I know that one of them does. I don't know which one it is, though. It might be this one. No, did I just click that anyway? Is it Doo-Doo Rhine? I could just check, couldn't I? Save everybody the time. Look, they do. It's on Doo-Doo Rhine. So I just clicked 6E twice, didn't I? I'm retarded. Anyway, these are terrible. They're really bad, and nobody brings the recoilless rifles because they've only got 2 strength. And so for 1400 meters range with 2 strength, it's like, what's the point? You might as well just bring the one on the left. 1/3 the price, and it's got twice the HP. So yeah, they need to raise the HP of these teams if they actually want anybody to bring them. I think it's a shame, really. So, because yeah, they keep putting them in. Like, when's the last time you saw anybody bringing these and winning? Right, the Wombat. When's the last time you saw a White? What's the point? The M40 is probably a little bit worth bringing because it's got 2 more pens, so it can one-shot 3 armor. But yeah, this is just trash. The SPG-9 you see occasionally, right? Especially like the Fallschirmjäger SPG-9 on 4th Mark, you do see that occasionally. I personally don't bring it, but it's decent because of the high rate of fire. But yeah, 2 HP just kills them every time. So, great. And then Milan 1, Milan 2, Ito, and they come in Santana, Jeeps, Toa, or BMR, including the new BMR CC Milan. So that's going to be... Because if it's a transport one, it's going to be like the Fox Milan. But it's probably going to be like this, except BMR. So imagine like a cross between that and this, right? Except, you know, it's going to be a Milan 1, so it's probably going to be a lot more like the one on the right, but it's going to look like this one. Do you see my point? So, great, good stuff. But yeah, Ito, I mean, you know what a Milan 1 is, you know what a Milan 2 is, you know what an Ito is. So, like, that's pretty cool on the defense, particularly if they get the slots we're anticipating, and infantry div slots. You can bring, you know, the MMGs or the 40mm grenade launcher, and a Milan 2 and a Milan 1, and an Ito and a Milan 1. And that's really nice for infantry divs to have 2 infantry cards of ATGMs and 1 card of fire, so like fire support like the MMG teams. Because it just means it's so easy to defend. It's very, very hard for attackers to push through that because you can just spam them out, and that's why you want one of the cheap ATGMs. You don't just go for the high line stuff all the time. So, you know, Milan 1, right, 17 pen. Milan 2, 24 pen. Right, and then Ito has 3 HP. Sometimes. No, all the time. And it's got less pen than a Milan 2, but it goes further and it's got much higher accuracy. So, because it's also got more range, right? So, Ito's the nicest one. I mean, it costs the most. It's also more survivable because it's 3 HP. Anyway, Policia military police are also present with their Santana PM, which is a military police vehicle. So we're back to brunette here. Yeah, so... Ta-da! Right. But also their new Seata 500 PM light trucks. So that's another military police vehicle, I guess. What? Presumably it's this one. I mean, presumably it's this one. It'd be a lot cooler if it was this, right? Anyway, great military police guys, right? Great. The Santana CSR 106 is a fire support rover with an M40A1 recoilless rifle. So, these are actually fairly useful. Oh, here it is. Wow, there they are. They look very snazzy, these Spaniards. So there's a lot of weird stuff going on with these, right? So if you look at first Lufty Landy, and you look at the Cracker M40, it's 12 availability at 1 vet and 8 at 2 vet, which is absolutely wild. But then if you look at like basically any other recoilless rifle weapon in the the 101st has the same thing. But if you look at, you know, what do these guys? Oh, it's Berlin Command, isn't it? That gets the and MBAD. So the Rover Wombat is 8 at no vet. So if it's an 8 at no vet, I don't know if it's worth bringing. But Rovers are fast. And so that's actually pretty nice for just driving around the side of the map and parking it somewhere and blatting somebody, because if it's an M40, it'll one-shot 3 armor, which means that you can really mess people up. And if it's got good stealth, and if you've got very nice infantry slots, something like this, you can afford to bring it, and you just drive it through the forest because of how fast it is, get it round the side, and side shot people with the M40, which has 17 AP. What's more likely to happen is you're going to miss, because the accuracy's 35%. But, you know, it's the thought that counts. Sorry, I keep thinking I'm a bit like that my lips bleeding. That's yeah. Anyway, so got to the artillery tab. Pretty good for the Guzman El Bueno, with the division's well-rounded artillery backed by some heavier core assets. This means lots of slots, not too expensive, and lots of choice. So if you look at so what does pretty good mean? I mean, depends on like the slot costs, right? But if you look at First Spanish, they've got nice artillery anyway. It's like the only thing that sets them apart from 5E, basically. So you get the M110s, and you get this funny thing, 140mm. Although, yeah, the slots... Presumably the slots will be cheaper than this, right? Mortars come in all shapes and forms, from foot-based lighter pieces, such as the L6581, which I think is the British one, right? I'm assuming it's an 81mm mortar. Oh, there it is, L65 120. So the L65 81 is presumably an 81mm. The L65 120, which we've just seen, and the heavier self-propelled Toa PM 81. So that's M113 with an 81mm mortar. BMR PM 81 and Toa PM 120. These aren't bold and whatever, so oh, because they're already here. So there you go. M113 with an 81mm. I like the wheeled one because it carries more rounds. It's the same price. You do get one less, which is a bit of an issue, actually. So maybe I shouldn't be bringing this. But, I mean, it's basically immune to counter battery because of how fast it is. You just run away. And then the 120, which is, you know, 120mm, goes further. Bigger smoke rounds. They've got these massive spikes in case somebody, you know, it's like a chariot of old. They run around with the spikes on the wheels. When the wheels turn, this must turn and just like cut people up. I'm not sure what else that could possibly be for. I mean, what part of the vehicle is that a spare part for? Anyway, it's not on this one. Something very specific to 120mm mortars. You gotta have your spiky bits. Yeah, weird. Some sort of can opener. It's for when they run out of ammo, right? They're gonna just drive up to the enemy and then just like Mad Max style, you know, hit them with the spikes like in Robot Wars. Anyway, self-propelled guns include the M108 105 and the M109 A1B 155, so these are already here as well. So M108, which is 105mm, nobody ever brings this because it's crap. The M109 A1B, which people do bring, because you can get, you know, you can do that, right? But I prefer the M110 because it's better. Toad artillery gun, but there's no M110 because now we're talking about Toad stuff, so I guess I won't have a choice this time. Toad artillery guns featured are the Obus 105-26 Rhinosa 105mm, so that's new. So there you go, 105mm thingy-mabob. And the Canon 122-45 Russo 31 122mm, under which name hides the World War II era A19 howitzers. So is this not already in the game somewhere? under, like, France or something. It says 122mm. Are you sure it's not in the... Anyway, it's gonna probably be like this. It's 122mm, right? So this isn't the exact one, but... Because, like, if you look at that, that is in the game somewhere, man. I think the Dutch have something that looks a lot like that. Let's try CLKA. Should do my research beforehand, you know? Maybe I'm making it up. Maybe it's in Do Rhine. I feel like I've seen something that looks a lot like that before. I'm sure somebody will know in the comments which trash spam div gets something that looks like that. Or maybe it is new. Maybe it is new. Does it matter? As well as the American Obus M114 155mm and Obus M115 203mm. And, okay, so it's not in italics, so maybe this is what I was thinking of. Anyway, that's a 155mm howitzer. And, I mean, this is like the upgraded one, so I'm not sure. I assume it's not going to be that one, the upgraded one. Obus M115. Oh, it's this thing from DivMob. So this is like 2 availability per card at Novet. It's actually pretty cool. It's actually, it's the must-bring artillery on DivMob, because it's 203mm and it comes at 2 per card, which is very, very cool. Finally, we managed to attach some older L10D3 300mm MLRS trucks to the division. Wow. 300mm MLRS. Sadly, the the only pictures from the Nemesis thing. I mean, this is crazy. So it's a 300mm MLRS, apparently. So that's like... So the Smirch, but not Cluster, so it's probably going to have a HE of 3. I mean, honestly, big MLRSs in this game are kind of crap. The Cluster ones are alright. Big, I mean, like Uragan, M270 HE, they're just not good. Because look at the reload time. And 220mm, 2.2 HE. Okay, M115, 203mm, 4.91. How does that make any sense? So... It doesn't make any sense. All they did for the HE MLRS ones is they just made it so 2.2 equals 2.2 HE. 300 equals 3 HE. I mean, it's just, they're just not good. They need to make it like the howitzer rounds, and then they'd actually be worth bringing, so yeah, that's a big shame, sadly. So here we go, 37 minutes, tank. Pretty decent, with a good number of slots. So I don't know what pretty decent means. Do you know what I mean? Is it gonna be like, I mean, I'm thinking of like mechanized division sort of thing. So like that. That's what I'm thinking. Or, like, what's another mechanized division? 24th? Like that, maybe? Yeah. The division's attached cavalry brigade features some venerable M74E2s. So M74 is already in the game. Let's all go through these one at a time. M47? Whoa, I'm retarded. Anyway, it's in DivMob, and it's pretty good in DivMob. The price had to go up because of how good they were. And it's in Do Rhine, and I bring them in Do Rhine as well. Particularly at 1 there, they're pretty nice. Now, given that I'm pretty sure these aren't reservist, because this is just what the Spanish had, as opposed to them being reservist whatever nonsense, probably going to be able to, like, go up in veterancy, right? Like a normal tank, like a JPK-90 or something, right? Look, 012, that sort of thing. So yeah, the M47 is actually pretty decent. It's not good against tanks, but it's nice against infantry because of the price, and it can survive a Conquer's M. It'll die in 1 hit to a Milan 2, I think. T55 survives a TOW 2 with 11. Yeah, the M47 will... Yeah, no, T55A dies in one hit to a Totu, but it survives a Milan 2. That's what I remember. So yeah, the Dozer thing, or the M47/74, whatever, that thing will die to a Milan 2, which is sad. But it's nice against infantry. It's a bit slow. Actually, oh, this one has 9 armor because it's not got the blade on it, right? We spoke about that before, but it's got more guns. So I'm not sure like what's going to be going on there, and then what it means by E2, right? So what were the Spanish doing with their M47s? Is it going to have more goods? Is it going to have less goods? Anyway, it's probably going to look a lot like this, except not reservist. But its own main workhorse is the M48A5E2 105mm tanks. Highly modernized to be on par with the Leopard 1A5 in terms of performance. They both come in command variants. So, highly modernized to be on par with the Leopard 1A5 means max range gun, most likely, because that's what the Leopard 1A5 has. So it's going to be an M48, like this, with a Leopard 1A5 kind of gun. I mean, oh, sorry. So you'll notice that so because the AP goes up by 1 for every 175 meters, so that means that at 90-25 meters, the Leopard 1A5 actually has 18 pen, not 17. So does that mean the M48 at max range will have 15 pen? Or will it just have 16 pen? I mean, they say they're the same gun, L7A3, but they're clearly firing different bullet. The M48, I'm not sure about, like, stabilizers, right? Obviously, it doesn't have it here, but I don't know what it means by modernized. And so, we can assume it's going to keep the higher armor and the lower speed. I don't know about the pen. I don't know about the price. I'd assume it's quite similar to a Leopard 1A5. So it's going to... But, like... So 9 armor dies to a Conquer's M. And the only reason I know that is because I've been playing a lot of 27th Soviet recently, because there aren't that many Conquer's M's in the game, right? 23 pen's quite rare. Swing Fire, Conquer's M, that's about it. If you can maybe Hot 1, or is that 22? No, it's 22. So yeah, it's just Swing Fire. So basically, the one on the right can survive a Swing Fire round or a Conquer's M round. So if you're playing against 27Y, you know that actually does matter. But ta-da! Right. So this will survive that, but it will. No, hang on. Yeah, but it'll die in one hit to a Milan 2, I think. Yeah, because Alright, sorry, I keep having to do the thing. 20 kills 6 armor, 21 kills 7, 22 kills 8, and 23 kills 9, and 24 kills 10. Yeah, exactly. So, great. So it's sort of like a Leopard 1A5. I mean, I don't know what else to say, really. And it's got a command variant, okay? And presumably you'll be able to vet them a lot, because they're just like normal line tanks, right? We don't know about the pen. Will the pen be the same? So it's like 15 at max range, which is not great, I gotta tell you. 15 pen means that it won't even shoot at a lot of things. Like a heavy tank is just not even gonna fire with 15 pen. Because, yeah, I think the T55 AM2 has 14 pen, and yeah, you do struggle a bit with that at max range. It's actually, to be honest, that's alright. It's alright. And yeah, the M48 fires a little faster. But it is slow, which means it turns slow. Side armor of 5 means that you survive like Dragon 2s on the side and stuff, but Conquers will one-shot you, which makes you basically the same as... No, because a Leopard 1A5 will die in one hit to a side shot from a Dragon 2, 18 AP. So like a C90 AT launcher, right? Anti-tank assets include the Santana Milan Jeep, which is apparently new. But that's just going to be a Milan Jeep. We don't know if it's going to be a Milan 1 or a Milan 2. I mean, it says Milan, but Rover Milan is a Milan 2. But M201 Milan is a Milan 1. So who knows what a Santana Milan's going to be, you know? An Iltis Milan is a Milan 1, an Iltis Milan 2 is a Milan 2, but a Rover Milan is a Milan 2, and a P4 Milan is a Milan 2, as opposed to calling a P4 Milan 2, right? Anyway, Toa CC Ito and BMR CC Totu. So yeah, these are in brunette as well. So if you go to, right, there you go. So this is an Ito for 60 points with 1 armor. It's got smoke, which is nice. Not sure where the smoke's coming. Oh, it must be these. But yeah, this is the one everybody brings because it's a Totu. It's only got mediocre stealth. They both only got mediocre stealth, so yeah. Right. Recon tab. Once more, a decent category. I mean, you told me the tank one was decent, and we've got M48s. So, yeah, honestly, guys, sorry. The Czechoslovakian video is going to be a separate video, and I'll link it in the description, and members will get them both at the same time, or you can literally just wait like 24 hours, and then you'll see the other one. But I shouldn't have told you that, so that I could get the money, but I'm a good person, right? Anyway, once more, a decent category with infantry scouts. The Tiradors, the Reconocimiento, and the Exploradores, the same as found with the Brunette division. So the Tiradors are the snipers, right? And they get a, you know, a Car 50, Car 98 or whatever. And, you know, that's a sniper team, basically, with a DMR and a sniper. And they get the sniper recon stealth bonus, even though they're not, you know, wearing ghillies or anything, just as standard uniforms. The anti-cemento is, you know, just 4 guy scouts, nothing fancy, no AT. And then the Exploradore, the Explores are 9 guys with an M65. But people prefer Jeanettes because even though this doesn't go as far, which is annoying, and I hope they fix it, the BMR PP Rico is a really nice vehicle, whereas this just comes in either a tracked one, which makes them slow, or a helo, which makes them, you know, vulnerable. Whereas this is nice and fast, mediocre stealth, good optics, really nice vehicle. This people like this one a lot, and that's why everybody just brings the Jeanettes, even though this is the better squad. Electronic warfare is represented by the Santana Rasura battlefield radar and the Teleoka Sigint traded truck. So the Santana Rasura we just saw, so this is exceptional optics. You just sit here, and if you're too tall, this cooks your brain. And I'm not sure what this is. Must be something about amphibious capability, maybe. But, like... Or it's just a big antenna, right? Because it's not amphibious, is it? And the Teleoka Sigint traded truck. So Sigint is that thing that nobody uses. And apparently this didn't even exist, according to Google. So it's going to be a truck with the Sigint trait. And Sigint is that thing that nobody uses. So I won't even bother explaining it. Sorry, integer. Other recon vehicles include the HR-15 helicopter, just right here. Speed, HP, for availability, very good optics. VEC 25 armoured car. Now this is nice. It's just an LAV, except you get more of them at Novet, because the LAVs don't come at Novet. So yeah, the Bushmasters. This is the thing you send around the side to kill things with. So now you don't need those. You know, we're talking about the Inf tab with the whatever, the M40A1s. Don't bother. Just bring this. And if you get side shots, you can kill tanks with this because it's got 4 AP. And the M47E1 Rico 90mm. Oh, so it's a recon tank. It's a recon tank with a 90mm gun. So it's going to be like the T-34 Recon. Or the M48 Recon from... except these get like mega bullets. So the M47 90mm Recon is probably not going to be that good. So it's going to be like this, but Recon. Wow. Spring Vex, bro. Last but not least, the division will get some Spanish Special Forces, more commonly referred to as guerrilleros. An 8-man Special Forces Recon squad. The soldiers will field newer generation 5.56 Set-Me Ls, 2 Amelie machine guns, and 1 scoped Set-Me C, so DMR, 2 machine guns, rifles, plus satchels, but no AT. So very good anti-infantry squad if it's got 2 machine guns and a DMR. I'm assuming this is a DMR. It might be a full-powered sniper rifle. Where are those Tiradores? Set Me C, yeah, it's 850 DMR. It's this one here. Not a sniper, DMR. Plus satchels. They will come in either truck or HU-21 helicopters. So it's a Super Puma. Are they going to get airborne forward deployment? It doesn't say so, so I guess not. 8 guys with no AT. I mean, they're going to be good at killing infantry, like very good. But it's kind of a bit weird because, you want to be far away to use your DMR and your machine guns, but you want to be close to use your satchels, so I'm not sure how that's going to work, really. Depends how much they cost. I've got no idea how much they're going to cost. I'm trying to think of a similar unit. I can't think of any. Like Navy SEALs, but they've got 4 machine guns and AT. It's going to be a lot less than this. It might be like 70 points. I don't know, Rangers maybe. There'll probably be some packed nonsense that is similar, like Razvedka Saperi, right? Something like this, something like this. So if there's 8 guys with satchels and more machine guns than this, and special forces, okay, it's probably going to be like 65, 60, 65 points, something like that. Yeah. AA! And we are at 51 minutes. Good in terms of slots, although the divisional anti-air defences revolve around light towed guns, such as the ubiquitous Gay Boy, the CA-20 Bitubo, and the CAA-40/70 Bofors. The 20mm guns also come in self-propelled variants, the Pegaso 3046 Gay Boy, single 20mm, and the twin-barreled 20mm Pegaso Bitubo. The sole long-range AA unit attached from the Army Corps is the well-known IHawk. So they've got this thing about man-pads in this game, right? So Belgium gets minstrels because they got them in like 1992. Spain got its minstrels. It got them for testing in 1989, according to the Spanish newspaper I read. And it got them actually in like 1991 or something. And, France got them about 1990, something like that. So you got this situation where the Belgians get the minstrel, the French get the minstrel, and the Spanish, who are in between the French and the Belgians in terms of when they got it in real life, they don't get the minstrel. And it's obviously just nonsense, but like I said, these history guys, they're just so mad about the fact that their degree leaves them unemployable. How long have I been all the way down here for? That, they want to take it out on everybody around them. So it looks like there's not going to be a man-pad for Spain, which is a big problem. It really is, especially given that, although having a self-propelled Zwillinger, which is basically what this is okay for dealing with helos. But the thing Brunette really suffers with is helicopters. It's very, very difficult to kill helicopters with this division. Because you don't have any man-pads, so you have to sort of drag these things around. Or you can drive this up to it and it doesn't do anything because it's the single tube one, so it's not very good. You have to bring it at 2 vet to get the same accuracy as the double one at no vet. Or you try and drive this up to it, which, it has 3 armor, right? But it's a Roland 2. And these guys don't even get the Roland 2. So, yeah, all of these are already in the game, right? I've just sort of showed them off, right? Gay Boy, Bitubo, which is the good one. The Bitubo is just a Zwillinger, but it costs 5 points more for, like, no reason. Basically, the Zwillinger should be, what? Oh, that's weird. I definitely remember saying, why does the Bitubo cost more than the Zwillinger? They must have fixed it. I must have complained loud enough for them to actually fix it. Or I was just looking at like a para version or something. Anyway, as you can see, they're the same. Obviously, in real life, they're not the same, but in this game, they're the same. So, great. And yeah, this is nice against infantry, right? So you've got some more infantry fire support. These towed AA guns everywhere. So yeah, you get the Bitubo. You don't get this, and this is useless anyway. This thing's funny, actually. It's a Gepard, but not propelled. It's got radar, but seed missiles don't shoot it. It's the Sky Guard off for MBAD, and it's still bugged. Seed missiles just don't shoot it. I don't know if they can even see it. They might be able to see it. Anyway, I'm sort of in the way of the unit cards here, I suppose, but I'm always in the way of something, so... So yeah, having this but with the Zvillinger would be useful for dealing with helos, but yeah, it's kind of crazy that it's like, you know, this crazy double standard. I mean, they've not said it's not there, so maybe it will be, but it's not there, right? And the Spanish, they use the minstrel. They use the minstrel, but the Belgium, you know, Belgium's got all the minstrels. Anyway, heli tab. 55, 56, heli tab. Rather mediocre, with the division having no attack helicopters of its own, nor any dedicated gunships or combat rotorcraft, which is helicopters, available in the army's arsenal. The sole exception being the squadron attached to the Brunette, which is the Gazelle cannons and Gazelle horse, which are really, really useful. However, some enterprising Spanish engineers had been tinkering with the good old UH-1, the Huey, slapping a mammy kit on some of these venerable helos. This turned them into a makeshift UH-1H Artillado gunship, with the two 7.62 miniguns and two 7-round Hydra rocket pods. These are only available in limited numbers, meaning one slot and one card. Rather mediocre with one slot. What? What qualifies as bad? If you only get one card of helos, that's mediocre. What's bad? No helitab, I suppose, which has befallen 2 divisions in the game, 76Y and 4th Dutch. So, you know, it is a possibility. It could be worse. Anyway, air. I'll get to 57 minutes now. Air tab. The Guzman El Bueno's air support is provided mainly by the Allah 11 and 14. Wings 11 and 14 squadrons, both operating export variants of the Mirage 3, C11 in managed service, in Spanish service, and Mirage F1 C14. So the Mirage 3 has 8 HP from what I remember. And that makes it kind of not great, because like, this is only 3 per card, whereas a MiG-21 Bis, which is also 8 HP, is 4 per card, and they fly at the same speed, but the Mirage 3 is just 3 per card, because fuck you. And, yeah, I suppose the Mirage 3 has 1 longer range missile, but it's like, who cares? Should really be 4 availability, actually. I don't see why it isn't. Because, yeah, I mean, 5e obviously doesn't need the help, but these 2 do. Oh, yeah, I remember. It used to be 4. It used to be 4, and then I beat Darix, and he nerfed it. Yeah, that was it, actually. I'm pretty sure that was it. Or it might have been the Crusader planes, actually. That was 4. Anyway, the Mirage 3, 10% ECM. Although this has 20, but it's a seed plane, and it's got some sort of... It's got something on it. I'm not sure if that's the seed missile or what. Yeah, that's probably the seed missile. Okay, so I'm not sure where the jammer pod is or whatever. And yeah, this is 20 as well, but this is 10. So I'm not sure what's going on there. What makes... What? They're both 3E. 3E. 20, 20, 10. Why is this 10? 3 hard points. 3 hard points. 3 hard points. Who knows? No doubt next patch this will go down to 10. So yeah, the Mirage 3 and then the Mirage F1, which is in the game as well, I think, because like this the F1C, so that's like 20% ECM. This is like the most March to War unit in the game, I think, and that's 30%. And yeah, like some more Mirages. I'm not sure these are 30%, but this is probably a different version. Yeah, it's just a different plane, bro. So it might have 20% ECM, it might have 30, who knows? The C-11 will be used in a Rocketeer role. Oh, okay. So that'll be like this, but with rocket pods on it. So you'd hope it would be like... I mean, shouldn't it be 4 availability if it's 8 HP? I'm thinking... No, because the MiG-21s are 3, the rocket ones. They're 3. Like, if you think about... is that Ruger or something? 6Y gets some... Yeah, look, Rocket 3... Rocket 2, but 3 availability. So it'll be like this. I don't know what kind of rockets it'll be. If it's the small-ass NATO ones, then it just won't be very good, sadly. Although, it might be big. It might be like the F4 F-80, right? The F4 F-80? Sorry, rocket. With the Zunies. Right, so who... Because this is actually really nice. So who knows? Who knows? The C-14A is the lesser variant of the F1C-200. So that's the one that we just saw. Hang on. With less ECM. So it's going to have 10% ECM. Okay. And equipped for bombing missions with either HE or cluster bombs in various configurations, plus 2 AIM-9P missiles for self-defense. So C-14A cluster, C-14A HE. They're going to be mega fast, but they're only going to have 10% ECM. You know, speed is my shield or whatever. And then the AIM-9P is the one off the... It's the not very good one. That's the J. Actually, the P might be the good one. That's the M. P. It's got more range, but it's got 4 HE, which is kind of a pain. But the fact that it's got more range is quite useful. Especially for a bomber, because it means that you've got more of a chance of just flinging it at some random helo, or if there's a fighter coming towards you, you've got more chance of, you know, hitting him before he can rout you. It's you know, it's not a big difference, right? It's only like 500 meters, but it does actually matter. The C-14B are locally improved C-200 with better ECM, so presumably 30% ECM. I mean, you know, we can assume carrying 2 AIM-9Ps, plus, depending on the variant, 2 R530s or 2 Super F530Fs. So the R530 is not this one, because that's the other one. So the R530 is the... So why would they call it super if it's worse? The R530 is better, because it's got more range and it's fire and forget, which means you'll fire them faster. The Super F530 has less range and slightly more accuracy, but less suppression. I mean, that's... If it's above 500, it doesn't matter. 500 just routes whatever it hits immediately. Or at least, you know, it lowers the cohesion to 0. Routing is like a RNG thing. Anyway, but it's semact, so it'll fire slower because it can't have 2 in the air. So why is the newer missile worse? We march to war use some... The latter missile variant is actually a march to war weapon, since Spain only acquired these French AA missiles from Saddam Hussein's stocks after the end of the Gulf War. So we marched... Don't worry, bro. We marched to war you a worse missile. In our alternative timeline, France would have parted with some of its own stock due to the deteriorating situation in Europe from 1989 onwards. Yeah, it must be pretty bad if the French are like, here, listen, we need to downgrade your military stocks. That's so strange. I don't know why. Anyway, The Mechanized Division Number 2 Guzman El Bueno is a light infantry division backed by strong artillery and AA assets. Armors are good enough to help any infantry offensive, but too fragile to go toe-to-toe against the most modern heavy tank forces. Yet those glass cannons hold more firepower than can be expected from tanks of this generation and shouldn't be taken lightly. It honestly sounds really fun. I'm looking forward to playing this on the ranked ladder. Self-propelled mortars plus wheeled stuff is just fun, because you just smoke, run in, unload, and then unload firepower upon the enemy. And the tanks with the max range gun, you try and get them in close with the smoke, and you hit people. If you don't like smoke, you're probably, going to have a really tough time playing this div. But yeah, it sounds good. I don't know if there's any airborne forward deployment, because they didn't make it clear that these were, and so I just assume they're not. And you only get one card of helos, but, some guys get none. So it sounds pretty cool. Now, I know there's a second one here, but I've literally been talking for an hour. So if you want to see the second video, which I'm definitely not just going to record right now and post separately, then check the description, and it will come out one day after this video, or maybe 2 days, publicly. And the channel members got these early because, my reloads, I like money. So have a nice day and like the video, etc.